This is your boy Laz, and in this video I'm going to share with you how I have been able to create a relationship with my wife that is full of respect, full of trust, and frankly full of frequent badass sex. And I did this after being unappreciated, after feeling like she didn't understand me, after constant arguments, and our relationship sucked for a good little while. But before I jump into how I did it, I want to share with you, if you are a person who is committed to constantly blaming everybody else, thinking that everybody else needs to change, there's nothing that you can change with yourself, and you blame everybody else for where you're at in your relationships, and you don't want to take any responsibility for where you're at, this video is not for you. If you're a person who is okay with sticking in shitty relationships that completely suck the life out of your soul, sexless relationships, just because you have kids, this video is not for you. If you're somebody who's committed to there's no hope for relationships and you want to check out of them, frankly, I don't even know why you clicked, but this video ain't for you. If you're somebody who wants to create an authentically healthy, fulfilling relationship with their wife, with their spouse, and you want to be an example of what this looks like for your kids, this video is for you. If you're willing to take 100% responsibility for your part in your co-creation of your relationship, this video is also for you. If you want to create relationships that are full of joy and full of fun, this video is for you. Now, how did I get here? What made me want to share this with you? I've been through it. It sucked. Way on the other side of it now, and it's beautiful. Back in 2014, me and my wife, currently, we've been married in August. We'll be married for August 20 this year. We'll be married for 10 and a half years. But in 2014, September 2014 to be exact, we got back together after 5 years of being apart when we were boyfriend and girlfriend. Our son was 5 years old at the time when we got back together. We quickly conceived a daughter. We got married in February 2015. And at the time, I was building my first fitness coaching company, blowing it up, crushing it, and all this stuff. And I wanted to expand into a different business, a real estate fund to be exact. Me and my family moved to Dallas in October 2015. My best friend moved up there as well. And I had taken a position with his company, being the Dallas acquisitions manager of his real estate company, doing off-market wholesale deals. I put a bunch of money into investing into a mentor to build a real estate fund. And I had a lot of stuff going on. There was about 12 other coaches on my fitness coaching team. I had, at the time, about 60 something clients. There was 400 something people total in our private group, which was coaches and clients. I'm doing the off-market wholesale deals. I'm building the real estate fund, building the business plan, building the team, all these different things. New family, new businesses, new city. When my daughter was 1, my wife went back to work. She didn't have a problem with it. I did. I felt like a loser. I felt like I had failed my family. I felt like I had failed my wife. When she left and my daughter went to daycare, I sat on the stairs and I cried for 30 minutes, like boo-hoo. And that little story inside of my head it got bigger and bigger over the course of the next 6 months. I had all this really dope stuff going on, started a pre-workout supplement with another friend of mine, and we launched that in December of 2016. Fast forward to January 2017, had about 10 deals in title that was about $120,000 in commission, and all 10 of those deals unwound. Even though I had all this dope shit going on, when those 10 deals unwound, I unwound. And I had been working myself to the bone, burning the candle at both ends. I mean, I was smoking a lot. I was drinking somewhat. Definitely, I was taking a lot of Adderall at the time. And I lost it. I went into a deep, dark hole. And I didn't know what, at the time, I was thinking, what is wrong with me? I got all these ideas. I got all this stuff. And I feel like I lost my mojo. About 6 months later, I realized I was depressed, and it shook me out of it. But during the time, It created a lot of strain, a lot of stress on my relationship. Sex life started to become super sporadic. It strained my ability to create. It strained my relationship with my wife, my kids. I felt distant. There was always arguments, and I was trying to explain certain things to my wife, and it always felt like I was talking to a wall. Maybe you've experienced something like this. And it sucked, man. It sucked bad. And I didn't understand it. I felt like my wife didn't understand what it was like being an entrepreneur and all these different things. And it took a while for me to reel it in. And I used to think at a certain point that more money would fix it. And when I started making more money again, the relationship didn't get to like what I thought it would be. And I tried all kinds of things, going down YouTube videos, reading lots of blogs, red pill stuff, all these different things. And it didn't work. But finally, I found a new way. And so probably you've been trying things the old way, you yelling and screaming, trying to get your point across. That doesn't work. Trying to have conversations, being direct, and then you think, man, I'm being direct, I'm being honest, but she shuts down, she gets defensive, she blows up, it turns into an argument. Now you're confused and you don't know what's going on. Maybe your sex life was great and it turned into once every full moon, if that, or like mine was once every full moon and sometimes once in a blue moon. And you're like, what has freaking happened? So the new way is going about it where you don't have to yell and scream and try to get your point across. You're actually being happy and connected and fulfilled consistently. It's not just glimpses of it. The new way is where your communication gets easy and you're always being able to have, even if your conversations are tough, they flow with ease. It doesn't matter what life throws at you. You stay connected with your wife, you stay connected with your kids. And just because life is lifing doesn't mean your connections and your relationships have to suck. And that's why I've created the Conscious Relationship Blueprint with the Conscious Relationship System and the things that I'm going to share with you today. So I'm going to walk you through the Conscious Relationship System, the RG3 method, and the Flow Communication Framework. So first, what is the Conscious Relationship System? Well, the Conscious Relationship System has 3 pillars. And today, the 2 pillars we're going to talk about are the RG3 method and the Flow Communication Framework. But the entire system is this system that is the RG3 method, the Flow Communication Framework, and then we also have the ACF. This is the Authentic Connection Formula. And this Authentic Connection Formula is a formula that helps you drive authentic connection so that you know what your standards and your boundaries are, and you're able to communicate them in a way that works. But first, what is the RG3 method? So possibly you've been through these things in your relationship, maybe even other aspects of life, and you were like me, where I made these mistakes. I went through all of these things that were hard, or the word I like to use is dis-easy. And we get to a point where it doesn't work to blame other people, but then you blame yourself. Even after you're continuing to make progress, something else comes up. Next thing you know, you're talking down to yourself, beating yourself up. Man, I should know this already. I should be past this. You're constantly talking down to yourself, shaming yourself, making yourself wrong, saying that you're broken, saying something is bad about you, not good enough, something's too much about you. And that keeps you stuck in a loop. That's a shame cycle. And with the RG3 method, you review your strategies, because everything that you do, everything that you have done is a strategy. Every step that you have taken, every process that you have gone through to try to get something, every argument, the yelling, the screaming, all of these different things are a strategy to try to help you get something. You're not broken. Nothing is wrong with you, but your strategy can be broken for what it is that you want to create. Your strategy is not you. So the RG3 method is reviewing your strategies, restructuring your strategies, and then reigniting your new strategies while giving yourself grace so you can experience authentic gratitude and be the gift that you are, accept the gifts that other people are, and live your gifts in the world. But first, you review your strategies and you have to forgive yourself Because if you can't forgive yourself, you can't live in a state of grace where you make a mistake and you no longer beat yourself up about it. You're just like, okay, I made a mistake, pivot. Let's do this. That didn't work. Let's do this. But first, in order to live that way, you have to forgive yourself for what you've already made yourself wrong for. And forgiveness is not just some, oh, I forgive myself. It's not just in your mind. You've already probably tried that. I forgive myself. And next thing you know, you're beating yourself up again. Forgiveness is a full mind, emotion, and body thing. So before you go into the state of grace and live with grace, you got to learn how to forgive yourself deep down all the way through yourself. And that's the first step of the RG3 method. Then you can restructure your strategies to actually work for what it is that you want to create so you can live with authentic gratitude. Maybe you've heard that gratitude is a key to success and a key to alignment, but sometimes you're trying to be grateful, but your gratitude feels fake. Well, if you are constantly beating yourself up, constantly talking down to yourself, and you haven't forgiven yourself, how can you have authentic gratitude all the time? That's why grace is first. So you can have authentic gratitude all the time. Restructure your strategies, have authentic gratitude. Now you reignite the new strategies so you can be the gift that you are, accept and allow the gift that your partner is, and then you can live your gifts out in the world together. This is what the RG3 method is all about. And then we move into the flow communication framework. What is this? So earlier we were talking about when you get into a conversation and you want to be direct, and now next thing you know, she's getting defensive, or maybe she blows up on you. It turns into an argument and you're like, why did this thing turn into an argument? Well, it's kind of like a ticking time bomb waiting to go off. But with the flow communication framework, you're able to go in and disarm that bomb. So if you're able to go in and disarm that bomb, help her drop those defenses, your message can get in and it can land. And this requires a fair, logical order of words. And when I say fair, logical order of words, when I say fair, it just needs to not just seem fair to you. It needs to seem also fair to her. Logical doesn't mean just in the mind. It has to make sense to all parts of you and all parts of her, your mind, your spirit, your body, your ideas. It has to make sense to your emotions and all these different parts of you. So when you learn how to get this part down and get the order of the words that you say down, you're able to go in and disarm the bomb, help her drop her defenses so that your message can land and you can actually be understood and you can be heard. And you're no longer being misunderstood. You're no longer having this confusion about why did this turn into an argument and all this and all that. So that's the conscious relationship system, the RG3 method, the flow communication framework, which will also lead into the authentic connection formation, is what the conscious relationship blueprint is all about. And this is exactly how I've been able to turn my relationship around from completely disconnected. I didn't think we were going to make it. I thought we were going to get divorced. And I swear I did not want my kids to experience divorce, because I experienced my parents getting divorced when I was 18. I thought it didn't bother me, but it did. And I didn't want my kids to experience that. I thought it was done. I've been able to completely turn this thing around with my wife, where our relationship is connected, is fulfilled. We have sex way more. I mean, sometimes it's like every day of the week, and I wasn't expecting it to be that much, straight up, but it is. And our kids are happier. The energy in our house is awesome. Our relationship is just beautiful. And our conversations are deep. And this is something that you can create too. If you get yourself in alignment with what kind of relationships that you want, and you have the right tools to create it, like you can learn inside the Conscious Relationship Blueprint, you can do it too. And if that's something that you want to do, all you got to do is go down to the description. There is a link to my Facebook Messenger. Click on it, shoot me a message, say CRB. We'll have a conversation. We'll do a relationship audit, and we'll see if working together inside of the Conscious Relationship Blueprint is the right fit. And if it is, I'll help you create your personal Conscious Relationship Blueprint. Peace.